Yes, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. It is the afternoon transfer edition, and of course, AOUAR's agent and brother is in London. I'm gonna tell you something very interesting about AOUAR's brother, because in the last summer there were so many reports that he was one of the reasons why the player failed to join Arsenal. Albert Sambi Lokonga is gonna have his medical in Belgium. It has been confirmed by Charles Watts, so make sure you do follow Charles Watts on Twitter as well. You'll be very, very happy. You'll be glad, actually. You'll give me a gift. So we're going to discuss those stories and more. Please do subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and make sure you're the first person to get us to 26,000 subscribers. Right then, lads, let's get the party started. We'll start off with Albert Sambi Lokonga having his medical in Belgium today. Charles Watts actually has come out and said everything has been agreed. Finally, everything has been agreed. He might not travel to Scotland for our pre-season training because he has to self-isolate, and that's what Charles Watts says. The player has to self-isolate, just like Nuno Tavares. He might not be able to travel to Scotland for our pre-season on the 13th and 17th. It might not actually happen, but what's gonna happen is he's gonna have his medicals in Belgium. Of course, Nuno had his medicals in Portugal. Lokonga will have his medicals in Belgium today. Deals agreed, paperwork signed, and a 5-year contract has also been signed by the player. Second signing in, getting. Finally, Arsenal sealing that deal. It's been a long one, really, because if you look at how we've been handling matters of Albert Sambi Lokonga, it should have been a done deal almost 2 weeks ago, or two and a half weeks ago. But there've been issues of sell-on clauses. There've been issues of small things, the payment structure and things like that. But finally, Arsenal finished their man, Albert Sambi Lokonga. So he's gonna be traveling to London instead of Scotland. Of course, the first reports were like after doing his medical, he will join up with the camp in Scotland, where we have gone to play a couple of games for the pre-season. But then Charles Watts says that is very unlikely because of the COVID and the virus thing. So you have the player flying to England, self-isolating for around 8 to 10 days, and then he will be announced officially as an Arsenal player. Of course, negotiations between Arsenal and Wolves, like I said earlier on in the last video, are still ongoing. Arsenal is still tracking what's that name? Arsenal is still tracking Neves as part of their midfield recruitment plan. Of course, we've had a couple of reports from Italy today that Arsenal is actually very, very keen on getting Manuel Locatelli, despite the fact that Juventus have the priority, have the first choice. But it looks like most of the reports that are coming out of Italy are coming out from Sassuolo. So basically what Sassuolo are trying to do at the moment is they have seen Arsenal shifting their attention. They want to use our name as quickly as possible so that Juventus can actually up their bid. But of course, Neves could be an Arsenal player in the next weeks if everything goes down. Personal terms I believe not to be a problem. The only problem is the price between Wolves and Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal valuing the player at around 30 million euros, the same valuation close to the valuation of Wolves. Decent player. Any thoughts you have about that man, we shall discuss at 6 p.m. live. Now, the main story of the show is AOUAR's brother is apparently in London, and it's not yet confirmed because he has not really confirmed what has brought him. But this is according to Dean James, AFC, and he said, as has already been mentioned by a few, AOUAR's brother stroke agent, who is also his agent, if you want to make it happen, is currently in London. Wow, that's it. That's it. I mean, there's so many things. We've had these things. We've been in these situations before. We have a player traveling to England. We have a player traveling to London. We have an agent traveling to London. But it only makes some more sense. By the way, it only makes sense. Houssem Aouar is back in training with Lyon. He had I don't know whether it was sickness, because he claims he was hospitalized last Sunday. But he's back in training, full training, and the kids and the pics were posted by Lyon, and welcoming back Houssem to training this week. However, his agent coming back flying to London means one or two things. One, there could be something that's going on. There could be something happening. And like I said, when I was introducing the show, he was one of the main reasons why Houssem Aouar didn't sign for Arsenal in the summer. Now, apparently, he told his young brother, look, Arsenal do not have Champions League. Wait another season and you'll be able to join Madrid or PSG or Manchester United or Manchester City or Juve. You'll be able to join a club with Champions League. And it's believed that he asked for astronomical agent fees from Arsenal, and they did not agree. Of course, there are a couple of reports that suggest that the player also wanted to stay because we didn't have Champions League football. But now the fact that he's back in London, it means something. There could be something going on. Probably the first thing you're gonna think about is here to discuss terms, with Arsenal, and probably for his on behalf of his brother and things like that. Or he's here for for his own business. But at a time when you have Arsenal in talks and Arsenal, making bids here and there for Houssem Aouar, at a time when we are looking for an attacking midfielder, at a time when we're looking for a central midfielder, and Aouar is definitely one of those. You've got to think about it. You've got to give it a thought. Maybe he is here to get us through that deal. So what do you think about his the brother and agent of Houssem Aouar coming to London? Like I said, these things do happen. He has he went to his Instagram and updated his location, and he said London. But I mean, they do happen. Things do happen. We've had this with a couple of players, the Thomas Partey's of this world, the likes of Nicola Pepe, and eventually deals happen or deals do not happen. But I mean, I'm a little bit optimistic. I'm a little bit getting optimistic with the Houssem Aouar deal. It looks like Arsenal are really very, very close, to getting something done. It's either Houssem Aouar first, or Ruben Neves. And like I said, in the earlier shows, at the moment there is not enough. There isn't any enough information for us to come out and say it's a done deal. It's close. No, and really, I've not really said it's close or it's closer, because there is no information like that. Arsenal is waiting to make its second bid. We are waiting eagerly for that, and I'll be very, very glad if we get in someone like Houssem Aouar. So his agent is apparently in England. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for the reason as to why he's traveled in England, and probably if he's come to finalize that deal, very soon we will know. Very, very soon we will know. So he's in England. Sambi Lokonga should be arriving in England either today or tomorrow. And apparently Arsenal have struck a deal with Prime Video to make us an all or nothing. And according to the official announcement I've seen on Twitter, on the official Twitter handle of the club, they have said the fans were asking for an all or nothing, and finally we heard you and have delivered it. So basically we shall talk at 6. What exactly the all or nothing entails. What does it mean? Of course, there is some money involved. Prime Video will pay some good money to Arsenal to have that all or nothing series, and that's what is that is what Arsenal is all about. Give us the money, and we do not care about what the fans think. So, guys, that is the update. Around the corner this minute, we shall speak at exactly 6:30. Live. Speaking of Houssem Aouar, Neves, the all or nothing series that's about to happen, Sambi Lokonga, and more transfer news as they come in at Arsenal.